Okay. Welcome back. And there's no time to be wasted today. I actually spent, I don't know if I spent like 8 hours yesterday trying to get what I did in the last video that you saw, trying to get that to work. So for some reason now what happens is that the client app ID that I have for Amplify or whatever on my local machine, that does not correspond to the actual client app ID on the AWS website. It's an old one that I had for another app, and I don't know why it doesn't update. It doesn't. I've tried so many different things and it doesn't update. And I don't really know what to do or how to get. I feel like I've said that in every single video almost. It's always about me just not knowing what to do or where to go. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've literally spent all of the last video that you saw, if you saw it, and all of yesterday, like probably 8 hours, trying to get this to work. I don't know. Because I know that I've created multiple apps before during this project, and that the app IDs have updated, I think. Because I think the issue that I've had is that the app IDs update, but I don't know. But anyway, like I said, there's no time to be wasted. We're going to spend 3 hours today. I'm going to try to get it to work in 3 hours. If I don't get it to work today, then we'll come back tomorrow and I'll try again. Because I think at a certain point, when you just sit and do the same thing over and over and over again, you stop caring about things that are important. So let's say that you're a scientist and you do an experiment. It's very important to write down every single thing that you do so that you can, what's that called? Well, so you can narrow down where the error occurs. And I feel like the more hours I sit and try to do this and don't get anywhere, the less I keep track of what I've actually tried and what I haven't tried. And so at a certain point, if you've done the same thing like 15 times, but changed one thing here and there, and you kind of sporadically or randomly changing things, just trying to get something to work, you end up in a position where you don't know what you've tested and you don't know what combinations you've tested of different things, which just makes it sort of impossible, I think, to come up with an actual solution. So therefore, what we're going to do today is we're going to try to get it done in 3 hours. And if we can't do that, then we'll have to come back tomorrow. So I'll set a timer for 3 hours and we'll start that. All right, let's hope that we get somewhere today. Okay, so what I don't really get is that when I run the this command down here, this whole thing runs, and then it writes to amplify outputs.dart. So if we go to amplify outputs.dart, we can see user pool client ID here. And this is 5MA blah 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 and ends with nav, NAV. And this is the old app ID or client app ID that I've had, which for some reason it creates, even though if we look here, we can see that this one is actually the new one. So 5E is what it starts with, and the other one starts with 5M. So for some reason, this command still understands or realizes or gets the new client ID, but it still writes to amplify outputs.dart a old client ID, which I don't really understand. All right, this doesn't really make any sense to me. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to rebuild the whole thing in a new folder. So I'm gonna create a new Flutter project and just redo the whole thing from scratch. And maybe that will work. Okay, so I think it works now. What I realized is maybe I can just skip the amplify console thing because it seems like I don't necessarily need it, which I don't know why that's the case or if that's actually the case, but either way, the app works now. And if I run it, you can see that we actually have a user now that's been created, which is the new email that I added. So we have user pools, identity pools, and they're connected to a client app ID, which is the app ID that we have. So yeah, I don't know. If it seems like it works, and I guess the only thing that the Amplify seems to help with, I think, is that you don't have to run the sandbox environment locally. Or maybe it's actually a server, I don't know. I just realized that maybe it's a server. Maybe that's what it is. Because what I've noticed lately is that I don't have to run this command, the npx sandbox thing. I don't need to run that in order to be able to log in and create users. And maybe that is because it's connected to the Amplify app thing. All right, we have a sandbox that's deployed 3 minutes ago. What happens if... Actually, let's try just to create a new app and with this new project and just see what happens. I don't think this will break anything. I think it would just maybe work or maybe not. Most likely it won't work, but at least we can try it. Okay, we'll see if that works, but either way, I'm pretty happy with where we're at because we're actually able to do the things. And then I was asking ChatGPT to help me work out, because what I realized or what I figured out now is that what we actually want to do is we want to make a function or an algorithm, or the algorithm part of the app should be on a server, a remote server, obviously. It shouldn't be on locally, but I think I got stuck not really realizing that what I was about to do was code everything locally in my Flutter project, which isn't what I want to do. I think there's a need maybe for these functions at some point to be local. Depending on how the API calls work, maybe you have to actually create functions in order to access the API. That could be the case. But the actual code for the algorithms should be on AWS, on an actual server. So we'll see about that. But it's been about 3 hours now. So I'm going to call it a day here and come back tomorrow, and because I'm about to start doing the actual algorithm part and trying to figure that out, which I think is going to be more of an effort than what I have energy for today. So we're going to call it a day and come back tomorrow and see if we can if we can build an algorithm, which I think will be pretty fun, because I've never done anything like that before other than just basic stuff in my app, but not like an algorithm that's actually on the server side. So that'll be interesting. And I will let you know, we will wait here until this finishes, and then we'll see. I won't leave you hanging. That's what I'm trying to say. There won't be a cliffhanger in this video, because I want to see if this works now. Because if it does, then it's basically a miracle. It worked. I'm very surprised about this. Like, why on earth did it work now? I literally just like created a new Git repository, or copied the entire project into a new folder, created a new Git repository, and redid the whole Amplify installation thing, and now it deploys. Not really sure about why that is, but so it has this app ID. Let's have a look. All right, either way, we're going to call it a day, come back tomorrow and figure out what we've done here. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.